So hello YouTube, it's Califax here, and I'm back with another one, right? So I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I mean, I know it's been a while since I've posted a long video, right? And the reason for that is because, now I've been very focused on trading, but more importantly, I've been focusing on the students, right? On monitoring the students' progress. And so far, I mean, it's been great to see that progress in a lot of students. We have some students passing challenges, right, getting funded. And so I mean, for me, it's very humbling to see that progress in them, right? And we actually been very, very active on the mentorship. We actually taken the trades. I always send the trades beforehand, right? So whatever trade I take, I always make sure I send beforehand for all the students as well. So the progress has been, I mean, incredible. And, today I just want to quickly, briefly do a breakdown on the trade that I caught on New Zealand dollar. It was at the beginning of this month of March. I mean, the month of March has been, it's been incredible to me. I think this has been the best month I've ever had in trading, right? I mean, it was just a total knockout, right? So it was a great it was a great month, right? I mean, it was very consistent. So I just want to quickly do a breakdown because I had some people that came and asked me to, just to explain a little bit what was my thought process behind this trade. But I guess it's because they saw the risk to reward ratio and they thought I made the 82% return on the trade, which is not true, but I'll explain as we go on. So, I mean, I hope you guys take notes right on this video because, I mean, I really don't know how to withhold information, right? So I think I'm going to just spill out the nuggets here, right? So, I mean, let's just quickly, let's hop right into it. And let's start from the weekly, right? Real quick. So the reason why I like to go to the weekly time frame is, I'm an intraday scalper trader, right? So I think weekly would have been like of no importance to me. But the reason why I like to look at the weekly is just to get a clear picture of what's the high time frame purpose, because throughout the week, usually price moves in accordance with the higher time frame intention. So that allows me to be able to position myself, better on the lower time frames. So if we look right here at the weekly time frame, I mean, if I asked you what is the structure right here, is it bullish or bearish? I think we can clearly see that the structure is bearish, right? Even if you look left, I mean, the order flow right here has been bearish, right? And price actually came to this extreme supply zone right here because we had this break, price, pulled back, and then we had a second break, but price actually didn't fully mitigate the point of interest, which was the catalyst of the move that went on to take this previous low. So there was still an unmitigated order block up here. And I think I refined on the 4-hour that one. So price ended up using this previous high right here as inducement, right? Because probably so many people had looked for a point of interest here, but they ended up getting taken out. And then what I saw is that, okay, we had the first step, right? Then price pulled back. So there was no sign of, change of character right here, right? So price then came back again. So we swept the previous high. Now, the reason most of the times, as we can see right here, price actually failed to close above this previous structure high. So usually whenever you see price failing to close above a previous high on a bullish trend, that's a sign of bullish sentiment in the markets depleting. So maybe that, and now the bears actually stepping into the markets and gaining control. So this is what I saw on the weekly time frame. We had this high, then price made this low, and then it ended up sweeping the high, but it failed to close above, right? So that means that this low failed to do its job, which was to close above to show that sign of bullish strength. So now we had price actually failing. So this was the first sign of bullish sentiment in the market depleting. That's why we had this huge impulsive move to the downside. Then price ended up taking that low. So right here, we just had this nice weekly / daily change of character within this weekly, right? Because usually when price comes to a weekly or the block, I like to see a daily change of character, right? So we had this weekly / daily change of character to the downside, which was a great sign of, bearish, of we actually transitioned from bullish to bearish, especially on this pullback, right? So then we can see the continuation towards probably this bullish monthly order block, right? So we saw this change of character right here. So what I did is I dropped down to 4-hour time frame, right? I went down to 4-hour time frame. So here we are on the 4-hour. So when I came to the 4-hour, I saw that, okay, this right here was when price actually finally took out that weekly low. It was at this zone. So I said, okay, maybe I would love to buy, right, all the way up, right, to find an opportunity to buy all the way up, pretty much just to ride the 4-hour bullish order flow towards this weekly. I think, I don't know if I showed you guys, but if we go to the daily time frame, we had this point of interest sitting above right here, which actually swept the previous high and then engineered the move that took out the previous low. So our expectation, right, is to see price actually coming all the way up here, and then we have that continuation to the downside to confirm the bearish order flow transition, right? So I came to the 4-hour and I said, okay, because price came aggressively to those supply zones. I even had this one that I sent, I think it was around February 28th, right? I think, let me just go to the score because I had sent the setup before. It was this one right here, right? So we can see that we had this break right here on the 4-hour. So I said, okay, on the 4-hour, we don't have that bullish or the first sign of bullish intention. So we can ride the bullish or the flow towards that daily supply. The 4-hour is still bullish up to this point. So I had this point of interest sitting above, but then over the weekend, because the trade actually caught in the March 7th. So throughout the days, I actually ended up sending this 4-hour right here because I saw this reaction right here. As soon as I saw the reaction, I said, now maybe there is something quite significant in this zone. So we were monitoring this zone right here. So if I drop down, for example, to the hourly time frame, what I saw was this push to the upside. So I said, okay, maybe we're more likely to see price coming here and then push towards the upside to this supply zone. But I also saw this bearish order flow, this clean bearish order flow right here. And I had this supply zone. So I said, okay, maybe a great sign would be if I see price actually taking out this high so I can buy. So if price comes to this supply zone and holds, I'll still look for sales because the 4-hour is still telling me that the structure is still bearish, right? So this is what happened. Once price came to the hourly, right, to this 4-hour, right, or we can say 1-hour supply zone, I drop down to M15, right? So that's what I like to do. Usually when price comes to my hourly point of interest, I like to drop down to our 4-hour supply zone. I like to drop down to M15, right? So this is what I saw, right? So let me just use the bar replay all the way here. So, right, so price actually came to this supply zone right here, perfect supply zone. So I said, okay, I want to see an M15 change of character, so then I can look for sales, right? So this is what I saw. So on the M15, I think let's just go to 20 minutes. I think that was it. Yeah. So right here, we saw this structure high, right? So let me just mark real quick. So we had the structure high, then we had this low, and then price created this high right here, right? So what I saw is that, okay, I said, okay, I want to see a change of character happening right here. As soon as I see the M15 change of character, then I'm able to go to my lower time frame, just as 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or 1 minute to look for my confirmation model, right? So once I came to M15, we had this point of interest right here, right? So I said, okay, we have this bullish candle, the last up candle before the down move. That's what, the typical definition of order block, right? So I marked that zone. So I said, okay, I'm seeing price coming back, and M15 failed to close below. So most likely I can find an opportunity on the lower time frame to ride the move that will finally close below that M15 low, even though M20 closed. So I was actually confident to drop down to lower time frame to look for sales. So what I did, once price came to my M15 supply zone, I dropped down to like 2 minutes time frame. Yeah, so I dropped down to my 2 minutes time frame. So once price tapped my supply zone, right, What most people like to do is they like to wait, for example, for that change of character, and they like to take the trade from the change of character. Me personally, I like to have more confirmation, right? Especially because I also go with the second. So the way I usually enter, it's a little bit complex, but it's very high probability, right? That's what I, pretty much teach on the mentorship. So once I saw here, once I came here, we saw this tap. So I said, okay, we have this high, we have this low. So then price made this high. So what's the first thing I need to see if I want to sell? I need to see that change of character. So price broke structure right here. It came back and then it broke structure again. And it coincided with the M15 close below that previous M15 low, right? So once price actually came, right, that's when I sent this setup on the group, right? So as I always say, I always send the setups beforehand on the group for all the students to be able to take advantage as well. So I think we have it right here. You guys can see this was March 7, right? So I ended up sending first the hourly, right? That price was at supply. So then I told the students, okay, we have the New Zealand dollar 2 minutes. I even sent with the refined point of interest. So, I mean, this was just a really nice setup, right? So once I saw this confirmation right here, then I actually went to the second time frame. I actually caught a very small, very nice entry. So let me just play price real quick. So price came, right? I was still monitoring the PA. So once price came here, actually my entry was actually 62.072, right? It was at this area right here. I mean, I think let me just show real quick the MT4 right here because no, that wasn't the one. This right here was the one right here, right? So we can see that, okay, this was 0.62.072, right? So that's when I actually had the entry right there. And, my entry was here. I had a 1.5 pip stop loss. My first target was this 1 minute low, which was a 1 to 10 risk to reward ratio. So usually when price comes to my 1 to 10, I like to take about 90 to 95% volume off and just leave a little runner to see, just the potential of the move, right? It's not that I'm trying to make all, that risk to reward ratio. I don't think it's that realistic, but that's what I did, right? My entry was there, and I mean, price just went beautiful all the way down. So then I came to the M30, right? So what I saw is I saw that, okay, the M30 is still with that bearish order flow. So my next target is going to be this 30-minute low, just to make sure that, okay, the order flow will be, if order flow is going to continue, most likely it's going to take that 30-minute low. So this was about 1 to 23, 22 risk to reward ratio. So price ended up hitting that target. Then the news came and just pushed price forward. So this for me was a 1 to 82 risk to reward ratio. I think the return, so of course I didn't make 82 times the risk, right? I ended up making about 23, about 22, 23%, right? 22 times the risk, right? From the overall because of partials, right? So price ended up, coming all the way down. So, I mean, I'll actually make sure that on the description or right here on the video, I'll try to, I'll make sure that I leave the MT4 picture, right? So you just don't think that I'm talking off my ass, because we really walk what we talk, right? So this was the best trade that I had this month of March so far this year. And yeah, then price ended up coming back, and took the remainder at break even. I think I'd left about just 0.5 because I took the last partial of 1 to 60, and then I just left the rest. I wanted to see if price would go to 1 to 100, but price then ended up coming back. I think it was 3 days later. It took the remainder at break even, right? So guys, I trust that you guys find this video very helpful. If you guys are interested, right, I'll leave my contact on the description below. So if you're interested in joining the mentorship, right, the Discord, so you could be able to take these trades, and we can actually, it can actually help you to be able to pass your challenges. right? Because we're not. I'm not trying to sell anybody a dream, right? Like, hey, you're gonna come here to make this. It's all about being realistic. Trading takes time to be consistent, but once you're there, I mean, it's going to be, a it's going to be great, right? So if you guys are interested in joining the mentorship and Discord, I'll leave my contact below. Feel free to let me know. Feel free to join my free Telegram group. And I'll see you guys next time.